Today we're going to be learning how to trim a mug or a bowl. So stick with me as we go through step by step and learn the different techniques it takes. So right here, I'm wiping the rim because I don't like to use 3 pieces of clay because sometimes it could moisten your drier piece of pottery and later on crack. So I wet the wheel, wet the rim, I tap center as I am right now. I grabbed my pottery trimming spinner. You could get them on Etsy for very cheap. I think I got 2 for $25. You want to center the spinner on the top of your piece, put some good pressure on the top, and then you will start trimming. Right now I am moving from the bottom of that rough ledge, and I'm going to move right through the top of it to make a squared off edge so it's not sticking out on the top side as you see right here. Also, you can see my back thumb holding on, and right there my finger holding on, making sure I have stability on the trimming tool. You don't just float your hand with your trimming tool. You make sure you're stabilizing it with the opposite hand, making sure you're connecting your fingers at all times. Now you can see I'm getting close to the desired shape. I'm going to take some of that trim away from the very rim, and I'm going to go move over to the side and kind of square up that edge on the bottom portion of my mug. This is going to be a giant mug, and I'm going to put a traveler's lid on it, so maybe a plastic insert on the rim when I'm done. So right here I'm chattering, and you hold it kind of like a drumstick very lightly at the end of your tool, and you will start hearing a vibration. That vibration, when you're holding it lightly and not stabilizing it with your other hand, will cause this beautiful texture I learned from Lin. And so I'm going back to the top, which is actually the bottom of the mug, and I'm really squaring off that edge, making it as beautiful and as shapely as possible. Next, I'm going to choose a designated spot to create a couple of ridges, some lines. I actually use those lines. They are aesthetically pleasing, but I actually use those lines to make sure there's a footing for the glaze so it doesn't drip past my chattered texture. So I have my lines down there. I'm looking at the top, and I'm going to this is where I really square off and make the top as beautiful as possible. And now I'm going to go from the very center of the clock, I call it, so the center of the pot, and move towards the 3 o'clock position slowly on the sharper end of the trimming tool. Right here I'm using mud tool, and this is called the do-all trimmer. I don't go all the way to the very edge because I want to create a deeper foot. So the foot is going to protrude past the center of the actual bottom of my cup to create. I like it because it creates more elegance in my pieces. And right there I'm blowing off the clay, because if you wipe the bits of clay off, they will just smear and connect to your mug. And right here I'm going to use the back of my fingernail on the spot that I squared off, so I could actually burnish it. You could use a back of a spoon or the back of a metal kidney tool as well. I like to use the back of my fingernail. You could do the same. Note the fact that if you do this all day long, you will start shaving off your fingernails. So make sure you don't do that. So I'm done with my piece. I'm taking all the ribbons of clay that I trimmed off. And when you stick your pot to the wheel like this, it might flatten. So right here I'm rounding off the edge one more time. I'm just using the water that was on the wheel already. I'm wiping the water off on my pants to get more of a dry finger. And so I'm taking down the 90-degree angles of the squared off rim, and I'm going to be left with a nice rounded piece of pottery. And when you do this, just be diligent. It does not take too long, as you're about to see. And the end goal is to have a beautiful piece of pottery. Here's the chattered texture and the squared foot. I hope you enjoyed this video, and make sure to hit that follow button and hit that like button. And if you want to see a video where I'm teaching you how to do something specific, make sure to throw it in the comments. I love you guys, and as always, have a great day.